Hi there, I'm Toshi from Japan and Tourist Guide for Foreigners. In this video, I'll show you 8 things to know before you go about scams.
Actually, Japan is an incredibly safe country in which to travel. Theft levels are low and crime is rare. But, regardless of the shining reputation of the country, there will always be the exception to the rule. There are scammers who are responsible for tricking foreigners into giving up their cash or picking their pockets. You can avoid meeting the same fate by becoming familiar with some of the most common scams used. This video will help your trip to Japan be safe and enjoyable. Please watch this video until the end.
So, let's get started.
Number 1 is begging monks. Picture this. Someone dressed as a Buddhist monk may approach you, and they might request money. They often ask for donations for what they claim are religious or temple-related purposes. To make their stories seem credible, they might even show you a book with a list of names and donation amounts from other supposed contributors. The problem is, those names and amounts are likely fake. In reality, any money you give will end up right in their pockets. These individuals are not genuine monks, they are running a scam. It's a unique form of fraud in Japan that preys on foreign travelers, especially those less familiar with Japanese temple culture. This scam often occurs in Akihabara, Kyoto, etc. To protect yourself, it's advisable to avoid making any kind of donation to these individuals. If you genuinely want to support a temple or religious cause, it's better to visit established temples and make donations there.
So, stay alert and don't fall for these deceptive tactics.
Number 2 is disaster scam. You might be approached by middle-aged women who speak decent English, carrying pamphlets claiming to be for a noble cause. They mainly target foreigners, rarely approaching Japanese locals. Their pamphlets often highlight recent natural disasters in Japan. Like floods or earthquakes, they'll politely request you to make a donation to help the victims. Now, these women may appear well-dressed and extremely courteous, but it's a scam, so you should absolutely refrain from making any donations. If you genuinely wish to contribute to disaster relief efforts in Japan, it's always best to do so through established and reputable organizations or charities.
So please stay alert and avoid falling for these deceptive tactics and enjoy your time in Japan with confidence.
Number 3 is orphanage scam. This scam often involves well-dressed individuals, primarily found in Southeast Asian countries like Thailand, Cambodia, and Vietnam, who approach you under the pretense of collecting money to help orphans. Now, helping those in need is always a noble cause, but it's essential to ensure the credibility of such requests. Recently, this type of scam has been occurring primarily in Tokyo's Harajuku area. Polite individuals may approach you, presenting various pamphlets asking for donations to support orphanages. It's essential not to be misled. To protect yourself from such scams, it's advisable to research and verify the legitimacy of the organizations or individuals requesting donations. Authentic charitable organizations in Japan are registered and can provide transparency about their activity.
Remember, it's important to help those people in need, but doing so through established and reputable channels.
Number 4 is scouting for models. This is a scam that frequently targets young, attractive, and stylish female travelers in Tokyo's trendy neighborhoods, such as Shibuya and Harajuku. Here's how it works. A person with a camera may approach you, compliment your appearance, and ask to take 1 or 2 pictures of you. Afterward, they might introduce themselves as modeling scouts and try to gather more information about you. Now, Japan is undoubtedly a fashion hub, but it's essential to be cautious. It's highly unlikely that a stranger on the street would approach you and ask to take pictures. Victims of this scam have sometimes experienced harassment, assault, or even coercion into the adult entertainment industry. Your safety is of utmost importance. If someone approaches you with such a request, decline politely and walk away.
Avoid sharing your personal information with strangers and always trust your instincts.
Number 5 is spiked drink. When you're in the area like Roppongi and Shinjuku, Tokyo, a vibrant entertainment district, the last thing you'd expect is to fall victim to a spiked drink scam. Here's how it works. You enter a bar, innocently place an order, and engage in conversation, either with the bartender or someone you've met there. Unknown to you, your drink gets spiked. After just a few sips, you black out. The purpose behind this scam is often to steal your passport or empty your wallet. When you wake up, you're confronted with an exorbitant bill you supposedly owe the bar. The staff may even resort to force to make you withdraw cash from an ATM, putting your safety at risk. Sexual assaults have also been reported in connection with spiked drinks, making this a grave concern. To protect yourself, be extra cautious when entering bars in the area like Roppongi and Shinjuku. Don't drink alone, especially in less reputable areas. Always keep an eye on your drink and never leave it unattended. By staying in a group and watching out for each other, you can significantly reduce the risk of falling victim to this scam.
Your safety is most important, so please stay alert and enjoying your nightlife in Japan.
Number 6 is bars rip you off. This scam often happens particularly in areas like Kabukicho in Shinjuku and Roppongi, UC. These areas are known for their vibrant nightlife, but they're also hotspots for a certain kind of scam. It usually starts with street touts who promise unbelievably cheap drinks or all-you-can-drink deals to lure you into their bars. When it's time to pay, you might be hit with an exorbitant bill, and things can take a dark turn from there. Some unfortunate visitors have faced intimidation, threats, or even violence when refusing to pay. Many people, both Japanese and foreigners, have experienced these scams, so I often found police officers along the street and announcements warning against these scams. But to stay safe, here's what you need to do. Never follow these street touts into bars, and do some research on bars and clubs beforehand. Check out their reviews and reputation.
So please keep these tips in your mind and enjoy your time in Japan. Safe travels.
Number 7 is friendly bar friend. Picture this. You're strolling through these bustling nightlife districts, and a friendly Japanese woman, who you might have met via mobile app or just on the street, invites you for a drink. Sounds harmless, right? Well, not quite. You may find yourself in a bar, having a great time, when suddenly, your new friend disappears. Usually with excuses like needing to use the restroom or make a call. And then, here comes the catch. The bar staff swoops in and hands you an outrageous bill, sometimes for just a few drinks. It's a classic bait-and switch. To avoid falling for this scam, be cautious about accepting random invitations, especially if they seem too good to be true. And, as I mentioned in the previous chapter, when visiting nightlife spots in big cities like Tokyo and Osaka, it's always a good idea to stick to reputable bars and clubs, perhaps ones you've researched or read reviews about online.
So keep your wits about you, stay safe and enjoy your nightlife in Japan.
Number 8 is money scammed. Regrettably, as a foreigner, you might encounter situations where you're overcharged or receive incorrect change. Let me share a recent personal story to illustrate this point. My friend from Korea had a troubling experience. While enjoying the sights at a popular tourist spot, he ordered food from a stall. The staff at the food stall at the tourist spot purposely charged him a 10,000 yen bill instead of a 1,000 yen bill. Unfortunately, such incidents targeting tourists do occur, particularly in well-visited destinations like Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto. One of the key factors contributing to these scams is the culture of cash is king in Japan. To protect yourself, it's essential to familiarize yourself with Japanese currency. Learn to recognize different bills and coins before you come to Japan. And, please, always make it a habit to double-check your change when you got it.
So, by doing this, you can significantly the chance of falling a victim to these scams.
Toshi Guide Channel.
Thank you for watching my video. If you want me to introduce something, please let me know. Feel free to leave comment. Please like and subscribe into my channel. See you in my next video. Bye!